Well, you know, time is so compressed now that this tragedy seems to me far away from now, because after those tragic events, Ukraine again is in a big, serious trouble because of the aggression from the side of the Russian Federation, which we continue to observe on the territory of Crimea.
So you call it an aggression because for you it's like more than political, it's very aggressive.
Well, it's not for me, it's for international community. Fundamental international law have been violated, brutally violated by Russia. Russian Federation is the permanent member of the Security Council. So it is well-known fact for them how to operate with and how to deal with a foreign country. And in fact, Ukraine is a foreign country. So without any visible reasons, they moved military forces on the territory of neighboring and friendly Ukraine. So that is why Ukraine now appeared under the situation of military invasion. Part of it is invaded by Russian troops.
From that point of view, so you mean, did you change any of your relationship with Russia and maybe with the Russian ambassador here?
You know, it's difficult to talk about relations now because all Ukrainian attempts to get in touch with Russian authorities failed until now. Fundamental principles have been endangered. I just referred to Budapest Memorandum, which provides for security of territorial integrity and sovereignty of Ukraine, which was signed by nuclear states when Ukraine joined the NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. So this mechanism provides for extraordinary consultations among those states which are involved, and Ukraine was endangered. So Russian Federation refused to participate in these talks, and until now we didn't get any visible signs of readiness to negotiate possible peaceful means of the settlement of this very serious conflict. I would like to stress that this is not only about security of Ukraine and Ukrainian people. Fundamental basics of European and transatlantic security have been seriously violated, and it puts a very serious question: how should global community to react on this challenge?
So you saw that right now some European politicals are going to Ukraine to show their support. Do you think that European Union has any power to change something there?
Yes, definitely. European Union has, and just a visible fact of that, European Council met during the extraordinary meeting 6th of March, and again for the first time in the history of existence of this body, Prime Minister of Ukraine was invited and took part in this very important meeting, where the series of measures have been discussed, agreed, and started to be implemented. So, of course, EU is a very serious player, and one of the signs of support to Ukraine is that European Union is ready to sign political part of the association agreement between Ukraine and EU as soon as possible.
Some people here just came to put some candles, some flags and some pictures in front. How did you feel when you saw this support of the Ukrainian in Brussels?
Well, it's only one sign of support of Ukrainian community. Let me also refer to other manifestations of support of Belgian Ukrainians to Ukraine. When we had an extraordinary meeting in NATO headquarters last Sunday, it also was visible demonstration of Ukrainians with Ukrainian flags who supported my country. And the same event took place on the 6th of March when European Council took place. Again, Ukrainians manifested in support of European integration of Ukraine. So I believe that Ukrainians, not only in Belgium, but throughout the world, is very supportive. They are very supportive now, and they feel themselves as being in Ukraine.
Tell me, what's your feeling about the situation in Crimea? Right now, many people there want to go to and to show to Russian side. How do you feel about it? They're talking about a referendum. Is it possible? Is it any legal stuff about that?
Absolutely not. There are no legal grounds for the referendum. It is not legal, but it's difficult to deny the fact that under the presence of Russian military personnel, it would be possible to arrange, so to say, referendum. But it would not have any legal meaning for, at least for Ukraine. The other question is, should Russia take into consideration views from Kiev, or they will continue to act in the frame of the decision of the upper chamber of the Russian parliament. And they, as you remember, very recently they approved the request of President Putin to move military troops onto the territory of Ukraine. And please take note that not only to Crimea, to the territory of Ukraine. So it's very serious.
But for you, the independence of Crimea, is it some kind of possibility or it's just impossible?
It is not possible, especially under the condition of de facto occupation of this territory, of this part of my country. Ukraine is a sovereign state, and it's not the way to behave and to act having in mind to separation and annexation of the part of the country. We remember that in 2008, Russian plans ended up with the formation of two quasi-states on the territory of sovereign and independent Georgia. Now, tomorrow it's expected that Russian parliament will discuss the possibility to change the law on simplification of the procedure of entering to the Russian Federation of the new entity. So it opens the way to annexion of the territory.
Last question, how do you see your personal future in the next years?
Well, next years. Again, we count now hours and days, not years. So I feel myself Ukrainian, and I continue to fulfill my important duties because I'm ambassador not only to Belgium and Luxembourg, but also ambassador to NATO. And by the way, I would like to thank Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. 3 foreign ministers today just winded up official visit to Kiev. They met acting president of Ukraine, they met foreign minister of Ukraine, and they had a press conference there. And we see it not only as a moral support, but also a possibility to discuss concrete steps that could be done from side of our partners, not only at the level of EU, but also bilaterally. And by the way, 3 ministers also visited Maidan. You mentioned this small memorial near the embassy's gate. So ministers visited Maidan and laid down flowers also respecting and honored victims, persons, Ukrainians who have been killed during tragic events.
Maybe one last thing, during these hard times for Ukraine, how do you talk, how do you speak with your colleagues, your employees here to make them feel maybe a little more comfortable with their family there? What's happening? What's the feeling now?
You know, I need no additional words or additional appeals to my personnel. During these difficult times, everybody act with full understanding that we are on the front line. Yes, we are not on Maidan, but we're here to fulfill our duties in the best possible way to secure the future of my people and my country.